I started Luca 10 years ago. It's named after my son, Luca, my oldest son, and it's really a project that came from the heart. I was convinced that the best grapes in Mendoza would come from old vines, and I had talked to many people here in Mendoza who did not believe in old vines, who actually thought that a younger vineyard was better than an old vineyard. But I tasted enough great wines in France and California, all over Europe from old vines, that to me, a wine made from an old vineyard is more complex, is richer, is it's just more beautiful. And so I took to the back roads of Mendoza and just went to every old vine vineyard that I could find, talked to the owners, looked at the soils, looked at the sites, and started working with them little by little. It was hard at the beginning because many people did not want to reduce the yields, did not want to irrigate less. But today, 10 years later, I am convinced that we are making some of the best wines in Mendoza. We are here in La Consulta, tasting some grapes, checking out the vineyard, and we're here to talk about the soils of Mendoza. And this is something that not many people know about because they're so incredibly different than soils in other parts of the world. The soils of Mendoza are alluvial, and that is actually common in other parts of the world. Alluvial means that glaciers or rivers came through the area millions of years ago. There were actually glaciers here that wiped out the nutrients, the sand, the rocks from the mountains, came through. And basically what happens with alluvial soils is that closer to the mountains where the glaciers started, you get the heavier components like rocks and sand. And as you go down, you get more silt, limestone, and clay. And that provides incredible variability of the soils in this area.
When you go in that direction, lower, you will find more clay and more limestone and less sand. And in this part you will find more sand. It's where you have less vigor here, smaller clusters, smaller berries.
Well, consumers often look at me funny when I say Mendoza has the poorest soils in the world because that seems like something bad. But actually in viticulture, you want to have poor soils. You want great drainage. You don't want the water to stick around. And it's with a very poor soil, with very little water, with a stressed vine that you get the best grapes. And the reason why Mendoza has such poor soils has to do with the very dry air, with our desert climate. In fact, the organic material in the soil just evaporates every day with the hot summer air, with the sunlight. And when you compare the organic material in the soils of Mendoza to the soils of, let's say, Napa, Bordeaux, Mendoza has maybe 25% of the organic material. And that means that nature makes our vineyards be low yielding. Nature makes it so that our vineyards produce a very small amount of very concentrated grapes. In fact, in many parts of the world, to get good quality, you have to drop fruit. In Mendoza, a well-established old vineyard is stable at 1, maybe 2 tons per acre, which is a very low quantity of production. So I always like to say that nature's gift to Mendoza is to give us poor soils. Now, yes, you have to explain it because it doesn't seem to make sense, but if you're a viticulturalist, you understand. The soils of Mendoza are so heterogeneous because of the climate and the alluvial formation that you really find extraordinary, incredible differences between one lot that is only a few feet away from another. And it's this diversity of soils, diversity of altitudes that makes every vineyard, every region, every sub-district, every small parcel of land taste very different.